Scary outfit for the Perth Wildcats, and have a look now at the starting five of the Breakers.
Well, no surprises there from the Breakers. Andre Lemanis sticking with his starting five that he's gone with all season long, and some great matchups there across the field.
Tip-off underway. CJ Bruton with the ball. Billy Milton Hall, Alan Gooden, Dallas Pickering are the referees, and the first shot of the night is a miss for the Breakers.
So a lot of talk in the media prior to this game, all to do with the controversial finish that we had 3 weeks ago here. Almost with time expiring, Kirk Penny was fouled, and we see Redditch open up the scoring for the visitors.
2-0 Wildcats lead over the Breakers. As you alluded to their start at the pre-game tips, I think they scored about 9-zip before the Breakers got on the board. They won't want another start like that as Rickett charges up the lane, misses the Loughton with the rebound.
Well, they were aggressive early last time. You're right, Tiarahi, and I think, you know, this is a team that's really gaining in confidence, the Wildcats.
Loughton for three, hits it.
Darnell Hinson has been fantastic, leading the team, getting the ball to the right people at the right time. That's what you want your point guard to do. And that time, Loughton wide open.
Rickett has the strength advantage over Loughton, gets the offensive board, gets to work. The Wolverine opens the account for the Breakers.
Well, 3 weeks, 3 games, 3 double-doubles for Rickett. Fantastic effort.
Crawford spots up at the top of the key, hits the shot and gets the foul. 4-point play on offer for the Wildcats.
One shot. Foul is called on 6, Kirk Penny.
Again, lead opening up for the visitors. And, you know, they'll carry a little bit of confidence, Tiarahi, into this match. Connor Henry knows that that was a game he feels that definitely got away from them. They should have won that. But, you know, confidence-wise, I think they know they can match it with the Breakers.
Definitely Peter Crawford was their star player in that first match. Scored 22 points and did a pretty good job containing Kirk Penny as well.
We did the number of screens someone like Kirk Penny runs off in the game. Be interesting to see actually how many he would run off in the game. But it's a bit like, you know, Tingball as a defender trying to guard someone like Penny. Bit of pressure coming from Perth.
Full court press. Ronaldson kicks it out to Foreman, who finds himself open. 18-footer, good.
Well, this is what the Dragons tried to do last week and force the issue up the court with the pressure. But, you know, having someone like Oscar open on that tray line when they eventually do break them down, that's what they did last week, and it looks like the tactic again for the Breakers this week.
Good pressure defense down low on Sean Redditch, who turns the ball over. CJ Bruton. Something Loughton gives it off to Ronaldson, back to the point guard from the corner. Rattles out. Redditch with the board. Talk about Reddich's credentials, but what about CJ Bruton? Another pick, one of the league leaders in steals. To Foreman from the same spot, and he hits it.
Well, he's been a revelation this season, has Oscar Foreman, probably playing his best basketball in Breakers uniform so far, and shooting the ball extremely well.
Loughton misses the deep two, so Kirk Penny. Well, there's another trip there. Now, to me, that looked like a foul. No call. Back to Crawford with the fake. Redditch.
Well, twice now Redditch has slipped in the paint, but manages to keep his composure and knock it down. Oh, there's another foul. They'll whistle that one.
Peter Crawford picks up the foul on Kirk Penny. So entertaining start, 8:32. First quarter, 10-7 to the Perth Wildcats. Having a word with the official.
There we see the outlet pass. Good pass, puts it in front of his guard there. And Crawford just with a little body nudge.
Ronaldson. Most experienced player in the NBL. Little fadeaway jump shot, sinks it.
He's got it all, has the bear. That time with a little fadeaway.
Wildcats go down low. Little jump hook, takes its time to go down, but it sinks. Ben Knight gets on the scores list.
Very important player, Ben Knight, for the Wildcats. Great pickup from Singapore.
Hinson for three. Deep, but Sean Reddish there is clean up the mess. Block shot. Call for a foul.
No way, you got him.
You just love the energy that Rick Rickett brings every game, night in, night out. There's, you know, it's a constant, isn't it, with him? His effort is fantastic. Called for the block, though. Here's Reddish. Little bit of body contact, I think, down low, but not much in it.
The guy must go through a dozen Red Bulls a day. Get up that type of enthusiasm as Reddish sinks his first free throw. But Rick Rickett, for me, at the beginning of the season, yeah, CJ Bruton, Kirk Penny, without a doubt, they're the stars of this team. But for me, Rick Rickett, if he fired down low, he could potentially be the most important player on this Breakers outfit.
Well, I think, you know, Rick Rickett is a pretty experienced professional, and he's just playing his role amongst the players that he's got. A bit like Phil and Dylan Boucher. You know, those guys are pretty key role players, and you know they've got their stars in Kirk Penny, CJ, and you know, other players like Oscar, really just playing their role. So I think that's the reason why they're doing so well, is everybody knows their role and they're just sticking with it.
And they'll definitely need him to fire come playoff time if the Breakers can maintain this type of form, because there's some big, scary dudes down low. Chris Anstey for the Tigers, Paul Rogers still to come back from Perth Wildcats, and this guy, Sean Reddish. Turnaround hook shot doesn't go, Rickett picks up another board. So 14-9, 5-point difference. Oh, that was a nice move. Crossover for CJ, but it loses control of the ball.
Well, he's got that turn of speed, CJ, just losing the handle on that one.
So Penny and Rickett get a spell. Boucher and Phil Jones check in. Two fantastic role players to come off the bench as Foreman slips by. No basket. Foul before the shot.
Well, I've got to disagree with that one. I think that was definitely, you know, a continuation play where they should have counted the basket. There's a little bit of a push, but he's sort of caught and shot at the same time. Unlucky that time, Oscar Foreman.
Oscar Foreman, top scorer so far for the Breakers with 5 points. 100% from the field. Had a big game last week, 12 points, which is, yeah, around about his average, but 13 boards for Oscar Foreman.
Well, he's such an athlete. He should be getting, you know, 10 or 12 rebounds a game. But they shoot the ball so well, the Breakers. At 48%, and there's Phil Jones dropping his first look from the tray line.
Phil Jones hooking up as NBL coach on cue. Hits a three from the corner. 14-12 now. Out with the fake. Little left hand jump hook that rims out. CJ with the ball. Finds himself with a mismatch. Goes right through bed. Knight ball gets slapped away. Breakers will hold on to position. 6:10 left on the clock.
Isaiah Victor, he's been playing very well of late for the visitors. Number 25. He would start in a lot of NBL teams around Australia.
Jones misses the easy lay-in. Hinson comes up the other end. He shoots for three and he hits it. Big shot over Tony Ronaldson. Hinson's first points of the night.
Well, I know the coach is very pleased with the pickup of Darnell Hinson. He's been playing solid in the point position for the Wildcats. It's a little foul out front there, just a bit of a check there with his left arm.
That's a good matchup, Darnell Hinson and CJ Bruton. My mind, two of the top 3-point guards in the league. CJ isn't able to convert on that 3-point shot. Dishes it off to Redditch. He finds himself all open. It's short, it's long, bounces out. Boucher comes out with the ball. Blakey's looking to push it. Jones dishes it off to Boucher with the reverse layup in it.
How about the injection of Boucher? He doesn't score a lot of points, but man, he does a lot of other things very, very well in the ballgame. And there we see Redditch getting tangled up with Phil Jones.
Surprise, surprise. Oh, the Wildcats are feeling it from the 3-point line. Kendall. It's back-to-back threes now for the Perth Wildcats. We saw that statistic a little while ago with Dylan Boucher. 750 points career-wise in the NBL.
That was 13.
Well, the first little bit of niggle in the match.
Dean Lonergan, former Kiwi, know about him. He'd be proud as punch as the Kiwi team, world champions. Everybody on hand, love the basketball. Tell you what, Fana, if you haven't been to a game, you've got to get down to the NSEC. It's a fantastic entertainment for the whole whānau. Boucher with us.
Dylan Boucher. Great little move here. He does his little spin dribble move, fading away.
Man, that's a tough shot. I think he took offense to you saying that he doesn't score many points.
Oh, no,
he's going crazy.
No, Dylan Boucher, he knows what he can do. You know, he's a player that definitely plays within his ability, you know. But it's all those little things. As a coach, you want at least one Dylan Boucher on your team, you know. Pressure coming from the breakers.
No, he's an ultimate team player. And I guess when it comes to experience in big games, he's done better. New Zealand talent holds the record along with Heddle Cameron. 6 titles in the NZNBL.
Yeah, I think Prem Krishna's up there as well there, the Chocolate Rocket. And he's up to maybe 7 or... I think he might be the leader, actually.
7. So as we're going down a trip down memory lane, Isaiah Victor pulls up a beautiful swooping reverse layup. Draws a foul as well on Tim Berendorf.
Well, he's just so long, Isaiah Victor. The extension. Basket will count. Just the one bonus to follow.
Go Connor Henry. Pacing down the court. A very different Connor Henry to what we saw at the end of the last time. They were hand charging foul call on Dylan Boucher. Didn't like it.
Well, Dallas Pickering, again, I would have to say that he's got it wrong again. I don't think that's a charge. That's my opinion.
Look at the replay there.
Here we see, I mean, well, it's hardly a charging foul.
Off the other end, I guess, bit of Utsu from the breakers. They come up with a partially blocked shot. Boucher off to Berendorf, who kicks it out to Phil Jones, all alone in the wings. Out.
Again, good teamwork. Right person, right ball, right spot.
Victor's jumper's a bit long, but Henson runs it down. Wayne. Give it off. Ben Knight. 14-foot jump shot, Ben Knight. Still in the business.
Yep, just steady as she goes, Ben Knight. Keeps his composure.
Kennedy, heel square for a 3-point shot. He's been doing it over the last few weeks. Not a recognized 3-point shooter, but if you leave him wide open like that, he'll hurt you.
Well, that's right. They went under the screen, leaving Paulie H wide open. And he's got to take that shot.
Foot on the line, gets the 2-point. Good defense by Boucher, but Victor comes up with the ball. A little bit too strong. Foul call on the Perth Wildcats.
Well, I've got to say, Tiari, the feeling amongst the crowd, you can hear them. They are hanging on every call, and they've come to see some fireworks. There we see, you've actually got to allow the person who's catching the ball to take at least one step, I think it is. So that time, Kendall not giving Kirk Penny any room, so you can't expect him to, you know, just land straight on top of him. So that's why they called that a blocking foul rather than a charge.
Tēnā koe hoa moe e rā whakamarama.
Rare miss from Penny.
Penny usually averages well over 80% of free throw line.
Well, heading into this game, he was 73 of 83. So around late 80s.
Ben Knight. Give it off to Victor, who's been active since he's been come off the bench. Another three-point shot thrown up by the Perth Wildcats. They are on fire from the three-point line.
Adam Capone makes it 5 from 7 from beyond the arc for the visitors. Hot shooting.
All those three-pointers going to 5 different players. So everybody getting in on the action as Kirk Penny takes a shot from the three-point line. No good. On comes up with the rebound, gives it off to Wade. 13 seconds left on the shot clock. It's under 2 minutes on the game clock in the first quarter. Another three-pointer. That's a deep one. My goodness, Kendall.
They are cooking from beyond the arc.
31 to 20, 11-point lead in the first quarter. Breakers must be looking at themselves saying, hey, look, this is what we usually do. What's going on?
Stephen Way gets called for his second personal foul. Corey Denari, foundation member of the Breakers. Not a bad golfer. He reckons he plays off a 10 handicap. But not as good as Phil, they reckon.
What's Phil playing off these days?
Yeah, it was about 8, I think he said he was, but they said their team manager's the best player in their team.
8, 10. Not bad. Nor is that jump shot by Isaiah Victor. He's getting the job done. It's 5 for Victor off the bench. Penny for 3, short. He's putting him up there, but no success. Ngari 9-8 te iwi kia titiru atu ki tō mata. Kupu poi tūkohu e kuru pihuka. Hook shot. It's our Māori basketball term for this first quarter. Is a kuru pihuka. Hook shot. Ball gets batted out by Rick Ricketts. So Wildcats with the new shot clock, 42.1 seconds left in the first quarter. Oh, wide open player. No good. Play can't convert on the kuru pihuka. Penny sets the play, gives it up to Rickett. Mismatch, Isaiah Victor on him. They send the double team off to Bruton. Here, Nare, good ball rotation, finds Penny, takes a step, releases the ball. 3 misses in a row for the top scorer in the league. 7 seconds left on the clock in the first quarter. Wildcats, can they extend their lead? Ben Knight, easy land. Great play by the Perth Wildcats, who are ecstatic by their start. 35 to 22, opening up a big Tacoma Tura. That's right, 13-point lead over the Breakers at the end of the first quarter. At the iwi kia mautoru mai, ki te tiro ake te hauwha tuarua, uri tonu ngā whakatairanga e whai ake nei.
Up that way to Kaipaiki Marae.
It's the final of Marae DIY.
Lovely.
And the workload is harder and emotions are running high.
To keep our prices so low, we don't waste money on fancy advertising or on pricey actors who have been to the gym. Just take a look at this guy. Low prices are written all over his face. Just there. Pack and save. Our policy...
Te rua te kau mārua. Another fantastic start by the Perth Wildcats. 13-point lead, Chris. I mean, the Breakers haven't been playing that bad, but geez, you just can't stop a team that's this hot.
Well, they're shooting extremely well. They got no less than 5 players on their side that have hit a three-pointer, with Luke Kendall going 2 of 2. So anytime you got those kind of statistics in the first quarter, you know, they're going to rack up the points in 35. I don't think Andre Lemanis and his coaching staff are going to be happy with that number of points on the board.
Especially when you have a look at the stats. The Breakers, 106.9 is their season average, which is the league best. You have a look at what the Wildcats score, 94.7, second worst in the competition.
Well, yeah, you know, that's a 12-point difference, but, you know, this is a team that started the season with a number of different injuries, and, you know, they're starting to come right, and they won 6 of their last 7, so this is a formed team at the moment.
If you're just wondering why the crowd went the big cheer, it wasn't because of the start of the second quarter, it was because the kids from the Kura Kaupapa o Rotoiti were up here in Auckland for a week. They've been touring around. They went to Puka in the park yesterday, stopped in the Māori television, entertaining the crowd with a haka. Ka pai ngā tauira o tērā kura o Rotoiti. And ka pai hoki tēnei tangata, Isaiah Victor. 5 points in the game, has been causing all sorts of trouble. Well, both ends of the court.
Yep. You know, you look at their scorers, who's done the damage in that first quarter for the visitors. Kendall's got 6, 2 of 2 from the tray line. We've got Isaiah Victor with 5. Ben Knights hasn't missed from the floor, 3 of 3 for 6 points. Then you got Sean Redditch, very good shooting statistics also. He's got a 6 points. So, yeah, between those 1, 2, 3, 4 players, they're really getting it done for the Wildcats.
Well, usually at this level of basketball, you'd only play about 8 deep, maybe 9. 8 players have already scored for the Perth Wildcats. It's only been 1 quarter gone by.
Yeah, they're spreading the love. And, you know, emotionally coming into this game, I'm sure that, you know, like I said to Sean Reddish, there's no motivation needed. They're fired up for this match, and you can see it in the way they're playing this first quarter.
Victor lines up his first free throw. And it's good. Of course, Victor, sorry, and Luke Kendall. I can't say Luke Kendall. Victor Kendall come across from the Sydney Kings to join up with the Perth Wildcats. Darnell Hinson from the West Sydney Razorbacks and Ben Knight from the Singapore Slingers. We've talked a lot over the weeks during the season about how well the Breakers have recruited, and also the Melbourne Tigers. But the Perth Wildcats have been right up there as well, active during the off-season and made their squad a lot better.
There's no doubt about it. They have a serious squad they've put together. Luke Kendall was one of the late pickups as we see CJ Bruton drop another tray. But Luke Kendall was a real late pickup. You know, they only picked him up prior to the game here against the Breakers 3 weeks ago. So he's a, you know, Boomers sort of, he was the last guy cut from the Boomers before the Beijing Olympics.
Redditch, the Kurupi hooker, no good. Paul Henare pushing hard, goes coast to coast. Overcooked the layup, but the Breakers will keep the ball.
CJ Bruton just running the 2-guard spot at the moment. Paulie Henare running the point.
Of course, you have a look at the history of these two teams. The Wildcats have definitely had the wood over the Breakers as Rickett can't convert on the strong move down low. I think before the last win that the Breakers had over the Wildcats. They'd lost their 10 straight. 1 out of 11. That's their record against the Wildcats. Early indications would show, well, the reason why. 37-25. 10-12 left in the second quarter.
Darnell Hinson trying to draw the charging foul. A lot of body contact that time between the two players. Here's a little shimmy in the move. Blocking foul.
CJ Bruton playing the two-guard spot. Paulie at point. Gets fouled and it counts. CJ showing all his experience drawing the foul and getting off a good shot. Be in a position for a three-point play.
Great little spin dribble there, and he worked Adam Capone. He worked him big time to draw that foul and one. Overall, CJ's been the one that's, you know, been able to finish games on the road for them, and the leadership that he brings to the table is, you know, it's one of those intangible things. Yes, Kirk Penny scores a lot of points, but I think, you know, the most valuable player out of those two for the Breakers, I would have to say CJ.
Because it would be by no coincidence, CJ Bruton's arrival, that the Breakers are the road warriors of the ANBL. 5-1 is their record on the road, which is super impressive, especially when you consider that last season they had 15 games on the road and they won 5 all year.
Well, some pretty good one-on-one defense there, that time from CJ on Darnell Hinson.
A little bit too strong there from Rickett. They have upped the ante, the Breakers, on their defense. 9 points now. They brought it back to single digits. Knight, pump fake, puts it up a second time. Short. Rickett pulls down another board.
Tells me he likes to do a bit of fishing, Rickett. In his spare time. He hasn't been able to do any here in New Zealand. Rickett, the fisherman.
He'd need to catch a whale to feed him. He's a big man. CJ thought that one was going in. No good. Redditch. 1-on-2. Slows it down. Has a mismatch with Paul Henry on it, but dishes it off to Crawford. Fantastic play. Sean Redditch finding the open Ben Knight for the easy dunk.
Ben Knight now leading the scorers for the visitors. 8 points for Ben Knight.
Good vision by Sean Redditch. He's a guy, not your traditional power forward, but he can do so many things. Oscar Foreman, nice. Cut off the screen. Foul called as well.
Excellent execution from the Breakers. Ran that offensive set masterfully. And Ronaldson, there we go. Look, that's what you want off any offense, is a 2-foot layup. But we heard Brian Gorgon sing the praises of the Breakers team last week and said that he thought that the Breakers were well ahead of the Dragons at this stage. You know, that's probably a little bit of, you know, gamesmanship. Talking it up, yeah. Talking it up. But I think, you know, execution-wise, the Breakers are probably one of the best in the competition at the moment at running their offensive sets.
Ben Knight again, 15-foot jumper. Gets him into double digits on his own. 10 points. That's also the difference between these two teams, 41-31. I take your point, though, Brian Gorgon. I mean, when the Breakers are playing their style of basketball, they are almost impossible to stop. Bruton, tough shot. Hits it from the baseline.
Still with a handy lead, the Wildcats.
CJ getting active in the second quarter, 8 points now. Leads all scorers for the Breakers. Loughton for 3. Breakers. Out muscle first up. on the glass, but come away with it. Henson, great job getting his hands in there, finds himself all alone. Good defence by the Perth Wildcats.
Lead back out to 10 points again. And CJ gingerly limps off the court. Let's hope he's okay.
Great swipe as CJ tried to cross Henson up, but I noticed that he was kind of limping when he drew that blocking foul on Henson a few minutes ago. Keep an eye on that, of course. A couple of weeks back, he did pull out late in the game. Rickett gets the offensive board, but going back to CJ Britton, was it a lower back injury? We're going to lose a late scratch.
That's right. In warm-ups, apparently. Looks like he's holding his leg over there on the sideline. However,
32, 3-2. That was 3-2.
There we go, just a grimace there from the point guard, CJ Bruton. We'll try and update you on what's the problem there.
Of course, Chris has already told everybody how important CJ is to this team. Remember, that game was against the Adelaide 36ers, and that was their last loss.
There's a lot happening. Yeah, I agree with that.
He's definitely one of the best finishers in the ANBL. And as I said, there's a lot of intangible things that someone like CJ does. Scoring point guard.
Redditch, good play. Loughton finds himself at the top of the key. Short, Redditch working hard.
Upset at the call, Billy Mildenhall, a veteran in this league. Johnny on the spot there. Lucky not to get a technical foul for that.
Yeah, Sean Redditch was about to do a haka.
And emotion still running high for Redditch as he runs over Dylan Boucher. It's a pushing foul. There you see, just runs straight into Dylan Boucher. You got to disguise that play, mate. Ping. You got to disguise that one. It's a bit obvious.
Yeah, just a bit.
Just one foul though for Sean Redditch, so no problems there.
Getting tangled up. Boucher down low. And now off to Foreman with the quick release. Wayward shot. So having a look at the three-point shooting, 3 for 10, only 30% for the Breakers. So 6 for 10, 60%. The Perth Wildcats. Can't hit the floater. So New Zealand on the break. Nice little bounce pass, but the ball gets knocked out of bounds, stays with the Breakers. 5:26 left on the clock, 8-point lead. Perth Wildcats in control. Both teams kind of struggled the last 2 or 3 minutes on the offensive end.
Well, you look at Penny's numbers, he's way down, 0 for 3. Just one free throw for Kirk Penny, averaging a season high, league high 26 points per game. Are we wanting Kirk Penny to get involved?
Rickett dishes it off to Phil Jones. It's been a sweet spot all night for the Breakers. That left-hand corner.
Well, he's very consistent, Phil Jones. Shoots at a very high percentage this season, just under 50%. And as we said, sorry, Tiari, before the match, I think he's going to be the front runner for sixth man of the competition at the moment. That's the best player coming off the bench.
Good play. The Perth Wildcats are getting themselves a good shooting, or high percentage shooting positions. Unable to convert the last few minutes, but I totally agree with you. Phil Jones, I think he came third last year.
That's right, yep.
Sixth man of the year. Ooh.
Well, you don't see that very often. Turnovers for the Breakers. It's 5 for them in the ball game so far.
Victor, 2 big giant steps. Nice layup off the glass.
Keeps the score ticking over. Isaiah Victor with 9 points now.
Will Jones off the dribble. Another shot that's way off. So the Wildcats doing a good job of disrupting the shooting as Paulie handed it. Rick Ricker couldn't follow through. Boucher gets called for the reach.
Timeout is called. Fans look for the radio sport fields. Throwing
Rene ko karanga hea te tehi taupua o te tīmara ka titiru ake.
Here we just see the reach in there by Dylan Boucher, his second personal foul. And here's the missed tip jam. Rick Rickett just got his fingertips on the ball, couldn't quite throw it down. On offense and staying with their sets and completing them.
Well, they've definitely stepped up the defensive intensity in the second quarter, only giving up 10 points so far. The problem is that they've only scored 15 themselves. So they have pulled the margin in a bit. But this man, Isaiah Victor, every time Breakers gone a little bit of a run, Victor puts the score back into double digits. Scored 11 himself. He's done a fantastic job. Penny's wide open. Big pump fake. Well, Penny can't buy a bucket at the moment.
Oh, he's struggling. Kirk Penny, probably the first time we've seen him struggle this badly at home. He is human.
Well, we haven't seen the second half yet. He could probably blow up for 20 points in the third quarter.
Boucher,
The hustler. Close to a travel there, but CJ Bruton keeps the ball alive. Jones for 3.
Oh!
Go!
The Reefton kid brings this crowd alive. Apparently he's the handball champ at Nelson College back in the 80s. I did confirm that in Nelson this week. He's a very talented athlete, this Phil Jones.
Basketball, golf, handball. Man, that guy can do everything. Victor, he throws up the 3. Good defense by the Breakers. Shot clock expired. Jones takes them all on himself. A little bit too strong on the layup. Crawford back up the other way. Boucher takes a slip. Nice pass. Sit off the way. Great play by Peter Crawford.
Stephen Wade, it was. Good pickup. Came in through the collegiate system in the States.
Will Jones puts the shake on. Nice move. Good defensive play by Alex Loughton. Gets called for the foul. So Jones gets the last laugh on that encounter. 3 straight possessions now. Jones taking upon his own shoulders to get this offensive spark for the Breakers. Well, Alex Loughton probably got reason to be disappointed. Looked like a lot of ball to me. Jones misses a rare free throw. %. Well, we were talking earlier. Oh, well, you're telling me about Phil Jones and telling the whole country about how talented he is. You also told me that your record for shooting free throws is 200.
200, that's right.
Phil Jones beaten that?
I think Phil's is 100 and something. I'm not sure, but he's very steady. Anytime there's money involved or anything like that, watch out for him. He's a shark.
Boucher, good rebound. It's under 2 minutes left. Ronaldson backing up the truck. The Bear. Fairly quiet, only his 3rd shot, but he's made 2 of them. 4 points now for Tony Ronaldson. 6-point lead. Perth Wildcats. 1 minute 30 left in the first half. Victor crosses up. Oh, brilliant move. Isaiah Victor just chopping up tonight. 18 points. 60% from the floor. He's doing a fantastic job for the Wildcats. There's their man again, Victor getting his hands in the way, playing the passing lane. He's on the break, takes it all the way. Picks up the foul of Phil Jones. So the Breakers struggling to contain the 6'8" small forward from the Perth Wildcats, having it all his way this first half. First personal foul for Phil Jones. 1 minute left on the clock. So just like that, a 6-point deficit could soon be blown out again to a double-digit lead. Victor maintains his 100% record from the free throw line, 6 of 6, 19 points.
Very influential off the bench. Isaiah Victor. I think as the season goes on, you're going to see more and more minutes for that player.
Will be a key contributor when it comes down to playoffs, and everybody expects the Perth Wildcats to be there. CJ, little leaner, no good, but Boucher with his 7th board, make that 8th. Phil Jones now takes a big step and a giant leap. Drops the bucket, 30 seconds left on the clock.
Well, with Kirk being so quiet, Phil has definitely picked up the slack in this first half.
Deep 3, no good, but Victor comes up with the ball, 15-footer. It drops!
No way, mate. No way.
Wow.
I saw that, and he didn't
That's
get it. No way. No, that was yours.
definitely a little niggle between these two teams. It looked as though it was a push in the face from Ben Knight. Just have a look on the replay. See the bottom right of your screen. There's Phil Jones and Ben Knight just trying to box each other out. Basket goes in, and there goes the push. And Billy Mildenhall right there. Let's have another look. Wow. Interesting. Bill Mildenhall didn't want to take that any further.
In fact, it goes the other way. Ben Knight will go for 2. Makes 1. So last play of the first half. Pressure D put on the ball handler, CJ Burton. Passes 3 players on his way to the hoop. And that will end it 55-47. And if my calculations are correct, that's an 8-point lead for the Wildcats. So the Breakers doing a good job, but she ain't finished yet. That's half time. The buzzer's gone, but these teams want to carry it on. He pakanga e te ui kei te haere ki tēnei papatākaro. E hika mā. Kore rawa e mutu te whawhai o e nei kapa e rua. It's an 8-point lead with the Perth Wildcats, the visitors, doing a fantastic job. In particular, Isaiah Victor. So have a look again. A few players getting a bit tangled up. Crawford, Phil Jones. Joe seems to be in the middle of everything at the moment. Engari e te wiki whakarongo ake I nānei ki ngā whakaro o te te honga kaia ko te Cup of Breakers, a Judd Flavel.
Well, Judd Flavel, we knew this was going to be a fiery encounter, but 35 points in that first quarter really dug yourself a little bit of a hole.
Absolutely, they came out firing. You know, we knew they shoot the 3 well. That's how they get going. They were 6 from 8 from the 3-point line. You know, a couple of them we had some good hands, but you know, just too many good looks for them.
Offensively, Kirk Penny having a quiet game, but Phil Jones definitely picking up the slack.
Yeah, that's the beauty with the team. I mean, we have guys, you know, can come off the bench. You know, we have a number of people who can score and get the points on the board, but that all requires offensive execution, doing all the little things right, making sure the screens are set properly, we're cutting hard, the moment we don't do that, you know, we don't function that well offensively. So we've got to keep being disciplined.
Yeah, definitely a better defensive effort in that second quarter. But what do you think it is that's going wrong offensively? Little things?
Yeah, just little things. You know, they are a solid defensive team. You know, give Perth some credit. They do play the game physical. They crowd the keyhole. So sometimes, you know, and they send people, you know, on our shooters so much that we may have to drive and kick it back out again. We've got to be a little bit patient. You know, if the look's not there in the first 10 seconds, run the offense, trust the offense, and we'll find the good shot.
Judd Flavel, good luck in the second half, pal.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Arakui here at the NSEC, and that is short for North Shore Event Centre. We need to find two wata o te kapa breakers. Me o ārātou kaitau toko maha. E aki ana ārātou ki eke ki ngā taumata I keke. Kia karo I tēnei tani whai ki nei ko te kapa Perth Wildcats. Rickett gets the ball slapped away in the first quarter. Again, I'm telling you, he might be joined by Chris Tupu. Loving the basketball this year, Chris. Loving it.
We are loving it, that's right. And so is the big crowd that's come to watch, 3,500, I think. In fact, the North Shore Event Centre, they're getting a real following here in Auckland. And it's no wonder. They're winning basketball games. They're a solid side, championship contenders, I believe. And Rick Rickett has been a big part of that. Look at Mr. Muscle Man in there. Just milking a foul. We talked a little bit before the game about how he likes to go fishing, Rick Rickett. Apparently, at some stage when they've got a little bit of a break, they're going to try and go big game fishing here. But he was very passionate about his fishing. Said that he did it a lot back home.
He's got some guns on him.
Yep.
He can handle a rifle, I'm sure.
Bass, for those fishing people out there, that's what he likes to catch at home. Bit of bass.
Breakers first up on the score sheet. Oscar Foreman gets called for a foul. Hand in the back of Sean Redditch. Looking at Oscar Foreman. 2 fouls in the game. It's not too bad. Oscar Foreman at time has had a tendency to get into foul trouble early in the game, but just having a look through all the stats of all the players, nobody in immediate trouble. That's for either side. Although it has been confrontational and very physical. Loughton, beautiful fadeaway jumper.
Well, one of the things that the Perth big men have, like Alex Loughton and Isaiah Victor, is their ability to create off the dribble. Redditch as well.
Yeah.
Ben Knight, not so much, but definitely Loughton and Isaiah are going to cause some teams trouble off the dribble. There's no doubt about that.
Penny looking to create an opportunity for Rick Rickett. Comes up with the next best outcome, a foul. So 2 quick fouls on the Wildcats.
See Loughton just getting across there late.
Berendorf for 3. Whoa, the bear.
Back to within 5 points now, the Breakers.
They're looking for a defensive stop right here, whereas the Perth Wildcats will not want to give the Wildcats any opportunity to come back. Knight.
Don't stick your hip into him. Stay.
Kirk Penny gets called for the foul off the ball.
There we see, well, I'll call that a ticky-tack foul. Ticky-tack foul, that one.
Geez, if anything, he was helping him out. He pushed him in the direction of the ball. Ronaldson from the top of the key. Can't hit back-to-back threes, but Foreman's there. Good hustle play by the Big O. Penny. Oh, Loughton gets that big mid up and stuffs the ball.
Solid defense from the Wildcats to start this third period. Very physical, isn't it?
Very physical, and
Both ends of the court.
Definitely. Any shooting woes continue. Still only 1 point for the league leader. Redditch. Stops, no good. Dribbles out into the hands of Rick Rickett. He's been a monster on the boards, 9 so far. Penny. I keep on calling him Penny. He looks nothing like him. CJ Bruton. The stutter step.
CJ's got the headband, and he's a little bit darker than Kirk. Okay, Kirk's wearing number 6. But the turn of speed that CJ has, you see him he's called a hesitation dribble, but he just, stands his man up just for a split second. Here we see it in slow motion. We'll just watch. There's the screen from Tony Ronaldson. Bit of acting there from Darnell Hinson, but here we see him. Just stand him up. That was it. You blink, it's too fast. I used to have a stutter step, but not quite that quick. Te Arahi.
You're modest. Mind you probably would have just pulled up and the jumper right in his face.
Well, stutter step and pull back. That's the one.
CJ, who's been automatic from the free throw line this season. One of the many statistical categories that he's right at the top of. Top in assists. League leader in steals, league leader in free throw percentage, top 10 in scoring. He's doing it all.
Well, it took a couple of minutes for Connor Henry, the coach of the Wildcats, to put Isaiah Victor back in the ball game.
Isaiah Victor leading all scorers with 16 points in the game. Crawford. Shot clock expires. Good defense by the Breakers. Three points. Lead is cut down. That's another foul. Peter Crawford this time picking it up. Loughton's gone to the bench a couple of plays ago. He's sitting on 4, so foul's starting to mount up on key individuals of the Perth Wildcats team.
Oh, there we see well, it could have gone either way, really. Yeah, Connor Henry probably's got a case to argue.
Fourth team foul now. They're just 1 away from the penalty, the Perth Wildcats. 8:47 left in the third quarter. Rickett, strong move, hook shot. Kurupi hooker.
The jump hook, eh? Rick Rickett.
On his way to another double-double, then a 2 point short. Be 4 in a row for the Minnesota Wolverine. Good perimeter D by the Breakers. Victor pulls up, tough shot.
There's that versatility that we talked about with their big men, in particular Loughton and Isaiah Victor.
Bad pass. Been a couple of those now. Unforced errors. Turnovers for the Breakers. Did a fantastic job against the best defense in the league. South Dragons only giving up 7 turnovers in the whole game.
That's right, that's what they've got already tonight. 7 turnovers. And the Wildcats really taking care of the rock just with 3. As Peter Crawford travels.
Nice move by Peter Crawford, slashing to the hoop. It's a pity he took one too many steps. Oh, the Breakers could square it up with a tray. Foreman. Get off to Penny. Cuts to the hoop. Layup. There we go. First field goal of the night for Penny. And brings his team in within 1 point.
Just 3 points so far for Kirk Penny. There he says field goal percentage. Horrible. But expect him to get busy in the second half. The Breakers going to get home on this one.
Chan at the North Shore Event Centre goes up for defense. Henson has been rock solid from the 3 point line, but that one rims out.
Oscar Foreman doing a sterling job on the defensive glass.
CJ drops the ball off to Rickett there. There's the double-double for Rickett, and there's also the lead for the first time. And a long time for the Breakers there. Beat your chest, son, beat your chest. Crowd going bananas. Here's the timeouts call. Breakers 60 to 59.
I honestly haven't heard the crowd this loud before. I mean, they're normally pretty loud, but I think for this game especially, they are up for it. They are into this game. Like you said, Tiari, if you haven't been along to a Breakers game, get down to the North Shore Event Centre if you're in the Greater Auckland area. They're putting on a fantastic show. Here's one of the maestros, CJ Bruton, as he hands off to Rick Rickett.
So having a look at the statistics now, 13-4 is the score. Breakers totally outdoing the Perth Wildcats. In your opinion, Chris, what's been the big turnaround?
Well, I think offensively, you know, they've just gotten after it. They've ran some really nice sets. They've got some people open and they've been aggressive, and in defence, they've picked it up, you know.
Hey, second play, triple handoff, you, and then into loop. So then you come off and go loops. Run a spur and then the dribble handoff to loops. Come on now.
Can they bounce back, the Wildcats? They've won 6 out of their last 7 games. The one loss coming against the Breakers here 3 weeks ago.
Hey, there's the Bro Razor. Ray Bishop. All-round entertainer. He's a bodybuilder, he's a singer. Man, that's... Talk about Phil Jones, versatile athlete. There's the mighty entertainers, man. Doesn't get more versatile than our mate Ray Bishop. Henson for 3. Long. 11 boards now for Rick Rickett. CJ. Stops Tony Bonneton. Ross has been very efficient in this game. Draws a foul on Redditch. Well, as the score would indicate, you could definitely feel there's a momentum switch to the Breakers.
No doubt. And the Bear, just showing his years of experience, working his man. There's a little, gives a little up and under fake. Great post move for any aspiring post player watching, male or female. The old up and under. Go one way, show them a good fake, and then you step through exactly how the Bear did it. No, it's nothing to do with quickness. It's just a smart heads-up play from the Bear.
Another key contributor to the success of the Breakers so far this season, not only his play on court, but all his experience and leadership off court. Henson is a good play. Looking for a foul. A little bit of miscommunication at the defensive end for the Breakers. Ronaldson gets his pocket picked by Crawford. 4-on-1 opportunity. Henson spots up for 3. 5 in a row for Darnell. Just like that, the Wildcats are back in the lead. Matiraku te kupu point Tsukahu. Couple, steal. That's a 3 for Oscar Foreman. And our basketball term for this quarter, couple, steal.
Well, there we see the result of pressure in the front court and a gamble. And you have someone like Oscar Foreman standing there catching and having enough time to make a cup of tea before he shot that one. So not really such a good tactic, I think, if you're going up against the Breakers.
Great defensive work. Dylan Boucher stripping the ball away. 1-point lead now. Breakers have clawed their way back into this game. CJ almost gets a couple put on him by Foreman. Back-to-back triples for Oscar Foreman.
He's loving it. Shooting the ball extremely well for the season. I think it's 50%, around about 50% from the tray line. Tonight he's 3 of 4.
Enough to put him off the slide. No chance of getting the ball. They are 24 black blocks.
Oscar Foreman, who spent his 3rd season with the Breakers now, so much talent, so much potential and ability. I think it's season 2008-09. Starting to realise that, and he's showing the world what he's capable of. Redditch, 15-footer. No good, that's 12 now for Rickett.
Well, they'll live with that. If they're settling for that little jump shot, that's probably good defence from the Breakers.
Rickett, Victor on his back. Fakes. Redditch comes out of... He came out of nowhere to help out Isaiah Victor. It's another foul called. Will send Rick Rickett to the line.
Here's Rickett, and he tries his up and under move, and there comes the help defense from Redditch, and I think it was Sean Redditch that got called for the foul.
Have a look at Redditch now. So that's 4 fouls for Redditch, 4 fouls for Loudon. So the 2 big guns for the Perth Wildcats. They're in a little bit of hot water. Redditch stays out on the floor. Rickett can't convert the second free throw. 69-64, 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. And has been the 3rd quarter dominated by the Breakers. Crawford slashing, pushes it off to Wade. 3-point shot. No good, Paulie Henry pushing the ball up court. Finds Foreman again. Fakes, throws it up. It's long. Rickett comes up with the ball.
The Energizer, look at him. He is pumped up. Getting the crowd involved. Just what the Wildcats don't want. We've talked about his inspirational, emotional kind of leadership that he gives the club. And again, we see the value of Rick Rickett.
Full court press. Quite an effective one on the Wildcats, but at least way open.
Great hustle back from Paul Henry.
Great recovery. Ooh. Kendall looks as though he lost control of the ball, but he takes a little bit of a dip. Boucher will get called for the foul.
Boucher. Kendall trying to make the move on him. Just with the hands, I think. He caught it with his hands. His body was no problem. And the crowd really liking Dylan Boucher and his energy this season.
4 personals for Dylan. He'll take a seat. You're playing with fire, though. You're going to try and beat Dylan Boucher off the dribble. You better have a few moves in your repertoire. Wade fakes the shot, dishes it off to Kendall, who cuts to the hoop. Too strong. Put out of bounds. So 2:55 left on the clock.
Just 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
Potentially a future breaker. Or doesn't look as though he's really that interested, or sorry, she is that interested in the game, but everybody else here is. 5 seconds left on the shot clock, so the Wildcats will have to throw it up. Ben Knight, a little bit out of his range.
Again, contested jump shot. The Breakers will be happy with that defensive set.
Rickett gives it off to Penny for 3. There it is, Kirk Penny.
2 minutes to go in the 3rd period, and Kirk Penny has hit his first 3-pointer of the match.
Remarkable to think that, well, it was a double-digit lead. But the Breakers could be up by 8 against a quality team like the Perth Wildcats, and Kirk Penny's only scored 6 points.
Well, look, you've got people like Jones, Foreman, and Rickett that have really stepped up, and they've got a deep enough squad. You see Darnell Hinson with the hat out front, sends Paulie to the line.
He misses the first free throw.
Bit of a laugh there from Paulie H, throwing it up underarm. That's how they used to shoot it in the old days.
Old school.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I've read about it.
Was that back in your day, back in the 30s? 1930s?
It's actually not a bad way to shoot the free throw.
That was like Rick Barry styles. When that's going
right.
to fashion, that is in the 70s?
Yep. Darnell Hinson draws a foul. On the kick out. And again, just the hand checks drawing the foul for the Breakers. Early in the season they struggled with the hand checks. They got called for a number of fouls. They are getting better at it.
Well, I don't know whether it was the calls or whether it was their style of defense, but just generally, I think on average they gave up the most fouls of all the 10 teams in the NBL. But just over this last little run where they've put very good performances back to back, four wins in a row now for the Breakers, they've really settled down on that area.
The Bear draws another foul. But going back to the fouling situation, CJ Bruton came out in the media and said that it was a lot about just moving the feet, you know, getting quicker feet movement, foot movement, and sliding a little quicker, so as you're not tempted to just go and reach in.
Tony Ronaldson misses his first free throw shot. 2 of 3 for the night. 9 points, 4 boards so far. Make that 10. Another play in double digits for the Breakers. That's 5. Minute 30 left in the third quarter. 8-point lead for the Breakers. Remember, at the end of the half, it was an 8-point lead to the Perth Wildcats, so they've outscored them by 16 in the third quarter. Jones. Mr. Ronaldson, who finds Tim Berendorf. He doesn't mind letting the long shots go. A little too long on that occasion, so under a minute to go. Wildcats looking to spark something up on offense. They struggled in this third quarter. Knight. Nice finish of a good pass from Darnell Hinson.
Knight now, 13 points in the ball game. 6 of 9 from the field. Very efficient. Always shoots a very high percentage, does Ben Knight.
And he blows straight past. This is off to Phil Jones in the corner. No good. Hinson with the rebound. So the Wildcats will hold up. Drain a bit of the clock, try and get the last shot off in the third quarter and pull the Breakers back within striking distance. Falls for a screen. Hinson, 14-footer, hits it. Big time shot by a big time player. His time expires. No good. So good end to a tough quarter for the Perth Wildcats. They pull the Breakers in within 4, 75-71. Fuinata te tauranga whakamutunga e ngari. Hau whā whakamutunga kai mua I te aroaro e te iwi kau e huri ki teihana ke. Kia kitea ki te otinga o tēnei kewu.
Up that way to Kaipaiki Marae.
the final of Marae DIY.
Lovely.
And the workload is harder and emotions are running high.
At Pack and Save, we work hard to save you money. Money that you could spend on other things, like clothes, shoes, or even getting your hair done. Oh, who's that? Pack and Save, our policy, New Zealand's lowest food prices.
Harvey Norman's Furniture and Bedding pre-Christmas clearance. 5 days only. Bring your truck, bring your trailer, everything must go. Huge reductions on all furniture and bedding in store now. Interest-free and deferred terms available. Harvey Norman Furniture and Bedding's pre-Christmas clearance. Hurry, must end Monday.
You've got 13 weeks. Work hard and get to the end of it.
Ngāti tū matawenga rātu hei te te kau.
CJ Bruton, koena no hoki tētahi. Oi, whakapōrea re, tangatara te kaiako. O te kapa Wildcats, Connor Henry, Tony Ronaldson, whole bunch of guys getting in on the action. The Breakers having their way with the Wildcats to get back up on top. And the lead in to the fourth quarter. Rākua tai mai te tira mai te kura kaupapa o Rotoiti. Ke te wehe rongo ana I te wana, te ihi, te tapu o tērā tira, mai Rotoiti.
Tūmeke.
Tūmeke no wātu e wā. Too much the approach from Rotoiti.
Yep.
Here to total of the Breakers in the last quarter. Victor shots a little long. Foreman pulls down his fourth board of the night. 75-71.
Well, big third quarter from the Breakers, 30-16. That's got them back in this ball game, and with a slight advantage.
Foreman no good from the corner. Good hustle by Rickett, but the ball goes out. So game still in the balance. Only 4-point difference.
Well, you're dead right there. Connor Henry must be pleased with the way his team's held in there. You know, to be just down 4 points to start this fourth quarter, they were down as much as 10 or 12, I think. So they've done well to hang in there and weather the storm.
Some clutch shooting by Darnell Hinton in the late stages of the third quarter. He'll be a key guy, especially with Connor Henry wanting to protect Loughton and Redditch early in this fourth quarter, both with 4 fouls. Victor, three-pointer, hits it. 1 point now. Sorry, foot on the line. Montana, you don't get too excited.
20 points now for Isaiah Victor. Came to the Wildcats courtesy of the Sydney Kings demise, and what a pickup he has been.
Throws up the three. It's deep. Penny still on 6 points. Breakers up by 2, 29 left in the fourth and final quarter. Hinson, nice fake. Tough move, draws the foul on Rickett. Hinson really stepping up.
Well, you know the guy's quick. When he wants to get somewhere, he gets there. Darnell Hinson had to do a bit of a double clutch there to draw that foul. Early timeout taken.
Right, tika tau e hoa he taupua moata o karanga here te cover Breakers. Kua tapepe te timatanga o tā rātou hau pātua wha.
Don't base reps for us, all right? Stay in it, push it back to your help, and then we can go ahead and rotate from there. Strong on that end, no catch and shoot for Victor, all right? At the offensive end now, all right, let's come down, let's get some secondary, all right, let's do it, get some ball movement, good hard cut. If they're laying on it, you can go to the baseline side and get some of that, throw it in and go ahead and work off there. Also, we've got shakes up, all right, shakes up, or shakes, all right, and 2 curls as well. The one time we ran that, it was wide open. But we all got to get on the same page. Right now, at that end of the floor, I don't recognise much of what we're running. All right, get everyone on the same page, keep executing. Yeah, keep getting stops here. Be ready for press here. You inbound it, make sure you turn on that. All right, have a look. All right, here we go. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Well, the direction's coming there from Coach Lemanis. This is a team that's gunning for win number 5 in a row. So, you know, one of the things about the Breakers this year is they've won that 3 games stretch on the road, but they're getting used to winning. They're getting used to winning away from home. They're getting used to winning at home in those close encounters, and that accounts for a lot down the stretch at the money part of the season. So, can they close this game out?
It's really encouraging to see the teams that they've beaten, whether it be at home or on the road. They've played Melbourne Tigers twice, the team that everybody was talking up at the beginning of the season, beaten them twice. They've beaten Perth, they've beaten the South Dragons, so they've put themselves up against the best, and at this point, they've passed. Now, a win tonight will be 5 in a row, but it'll also keep them in touch with the South Dragons, who've got a 1-game advantage on them, because they won last night.
Five on the shot clock. Well, you couldn't have drawn that play up any better as a coach. Ronaldson with a little baby hook right on the buzzer.
Showed fantastic patience. They did not panic even with the shot clock expiring. And that hook puts Tony Ronaldson 5th all-time scorer in NBL history.
You step forward, underneath.
The records just keep on tumbling for the Bear, but I'm sure he'd trade it all in for a championship.
4th personal foul called on Rick Rickett, trying to mark Isaiah Victor off the dribble. And you see just leaning in with his left shoulder.
Victor, that's 7 from 8 from the free throw line tonight. It's been a handful all night. Whoever's trying to guide him makes it 2 from 2, so that's 22 for Victor, and it squares up the scores. 77 Ki'ia Kappa to both teams. Gorman. Little give and go, and that will go. 3-point shot for Oscar.
Well, he has the radar locked on, does Oscar Foreman. 4 of 6 now. Continues his hot shooting from beyond the arc for the season.
Number 1 breaking scorer tonight as Crawford hits a big 3-point shot right over Tony Ronaldson. His team just will not go away.
Well, he had 24 points or 22 points last time they met here. Rickett running the floor extremely well for a big man, full of running this stage of the game.
From a coach's perspective, you must love to see that senior center running the floor.
Well, it's money for jam. You run the floor and beat your man down the court and get to the rim. Your teammates should find you the ball.
CJ. Turnover.
Subway.
He shook a couple of defenders. He also shook the ball away. Kirk Penny, Tony Ronaldson check out, and come D. Boucher and P. Jones. 8:18 left on the clock. We all expected it to be a tight game, and it has been, especially in the second half, and especially with a guy like Darnell Hinson hitting big shots like that.
They are 9 of 19 from the tray line, the Wildcats. But down the other end, Rickett just keeps doing what he does best, sprinting that lane, getting in good position.
He deserves a pat on the back, because you have a look at their front line. Although they're very big, they are very, very fast and mobile. I'm talking about Redditch, Loughton and Knight. They ain't no slugs. They can run with the best of them, but 2 straight positions now. Ricketts beating them up the other end of the court.
Gets the lucky bounce. 4 of 5 tonight from the free throw line.
"17 points and 13 boards for Rickett." Those are big numbers, massive numbers.
Tied top scorer with Oscar Foreman for the Breakers. Penny just with 6 points in the ball game. But you look across the other side, Sean Redditch just with 6 points also.
The 2 top MVP candidates have a quiet night by their standards. That's poor awareness by the Wildcats, but give credit to the Breakers.
Solid defense, good rotations on the kickouts.
CJ. After Rickett has been active in this 4th quarter. Spin move, travel.
Rickett seeing the funny side of it.
Seven minutes left. I know we haven't even hit December yet, Tooth, but this game's kind of got like playoff intensity about it.
Well, there's no doubt the crowd is chanting defense. And they're into this game. Every play, they're hanging off the edge of the referee's whistle.
Dylan Boucher. That's 5. So
Redditch, sorry Tiari, trying to put the move on, and there's Boucher just reaching in with his right hand.
So he rightly pointed out that, I mean, I'll be going on about Penny all night, but Sean Redditch, who's the number 2 scorer in the league, equally had a real tough night. 2 of 10 from the field, only 20%. That's the 7th point.
We could be seeing the start of a rivalry between these 2 teams in this season.
You have a look at some of the stuff that's gone on in the last 2 games. They don't like each other. CJ Britton with a deep 3.
Continues to fill up the stat line, does CJ Bruton. 3 assists, 2 steals, 15 points.
Redditch ice cold from the floor. There's CJ. Turns on the turbo boosters in it. Another bucket.
Well, he's the master at reading a game and knowing when to put the hammer down, when to make the big play. So important from your point guard. He handles the ball most of the time. But you want your key player making those decisions down the stretch, and that's one of the things there that we've got with CJ. He knows how to close out a game. 17 points for him, Rickett, and Oscar Foreman.
So not the traditional big 3 for the Breakers, but shows their depth and their talent. And people need to stand up. They answer the call. Phil Jones. Awkward pass and another one. Time was running out on the clock, but Breakers a little bit guilty of being sloppy on their possession.
That was good defensive set there by the Wildcats.
Just over 5 minutes left in the game. 5 points is the difference with the Breakers ahead. Another strip. There's Ben Knight to clean up the mess.
Takes the garbage out once again, does Ben Knight. Right place, right time.
Coleman looking squaring up for a three-point shot, gives it off to Ronaldson. 8 seconds left on the clock. Jones, he'll throw it up, and he hits it!
From this angle, that was nothing but net.
And now Quinato Tata Kupu 22 Pohu Kuru Toru 3-point shot. Basketball turn in Te Reo Māori for the fourth and final quarter as Kuru Toru 3-point shot. Nā kua karangahia te tehi taupu anō. And Phil Jones, like Chris Tipu said, never looked like missing. It's the prettiest sound in basketball, the swish.
Bottom of the net.
All right, Vic, you got Al right now. We are ready, everything. All right, everything. All right, keep everybody in front of you, and then you got to go rebound the basketball. Now you got to touch hands. All right, we're one pass. All right, throw it inside. Let's run a curl. Throw it inside. Just twist the curl. All right, run a push, dribble handoff, catch, dump it into the post. Go after rim. Rim pressure. Let everything. Here we go.
Well, I've got a feeling that red could well be something to do with switching and staying at home on the shooters. You know, they've given them too much room in the from the three-point line. So they may just look to try and switch everything and stay at home on those shooters. Down the other end, of course, is no surprise there. He just wants them to pound that ball in the paint, get it into those big guys.
Boy, Connor Henry's doing it tough on the court side there. Sounds like me after Ngā Tumanako 11, his horse. Ben Knight. Shot off to Victor. Good defense. Great defense by the Breakers.
Well, Ben Knight should have really shot that ball in the post. Really got to be aware of the shot clock, especially at this stage of the game. 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Really inexcusable. You've got to be aware of what's going on and make sure you get at least a shot attempt up.
Off memory, in this second half, that's the third time the shot clock's expired before they even got a shot off. Bruton! Off the dribble, fantastic play.
Well, you know, you have a mismatch in the paint.
Here's Jones, it's in!
Right in front of the opposition's bench, Jones buries a huge three from broken play.
Special play by the Breakers, back-to-back trays. The crowd here is going bananas.
Well, CJ Bruton got it going with that beautiful little crossover move. Here comes the steal from Jones, and he says, yep, thank you for that. I'll just knock down another three.
CJ, oh, I swear. People were going to lose it if he hit that three-point shot.
The crowd are getting their money's worth. And the Breakers storming back into this ball game as Jones hits another one. 19 points for the Reefton kid.
14-point lead now as the Breakers cross into 100. Nice play by Luke Kendall. 3 minutes left. Breakers have dominated the last minute where they've picked up almost 10 points in a matter of seconds. Good defense. It's great defense. Wildcats picking up the intensity, knowing that they need to pull out something special now. They want to have any chance of getting the W here in the NSEC.
Got to make sure they guard the tray line.
Victor, a little 5-foot shot, no good. 2:30 left on the clock, 12 points difference. Well, the Breakers will looking to use all their 24 seconds Jones for three again. You're kidding. You're kidding.
He's on fire right now, the Reefton kid. 22 points in the ball game.
Victor, he calls for it, and he hits it. Still 12-point lead.
Oh, that should be a tick. He is. Peter Crawford, out of frustration, hurled the basketball at the backboard in disgust at the call. And he comes up with a technical. Now that'll mean some extra shots for the Breakers and possession from halfway, so that's a costly loss of composure, I guess you'd call it, from Peter Crawford. But I think the damage may have already been done.
Without a doubt, this Breakers team has just come to life at both ends of the court. Some clutch shooting by Phil Jones and CJ Britton at the offensive end, but on the defensive side, they have absolutely smothered this Wildcats team as they call a timeout. 105 to 91, big 14-point lead to the Breakers. Only 2 minutes left in this game. Nurere Tiwi, kuara ke te hau kāinga, kia eke ki te hi taumata. Kārea no kia kitea mai tēnei tima I toroa ngāke o tēnei whakataetai. Ka ke whakarongo ake anai nei, kia Connor Henry o te kapa Perth Wildcats.
Otherwise, get to the rack, and we're in one hard. All right, you're in one hard. Containing, looking to get steals. Looking to get steals. And we've got a foul to give. All right? One hard looking for steals. Don't let him throw it up the sidelines on us. And we're in auto. 2 minutes right now. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
Kuinanga whakaro o Connor Henry. Tana hia. Kia kaua e hinga. Kaua e takoto tēnei kapa Perth Wildcats. Kia kaha tonu te ārai. Te kapo I te pāro. Kia whakarite aki e te huarahi. E kōkiri mā rātau ara. E rāpea. Kia kukume mai te waka. Te kapa Breakers. Kiuta. Wildcats. Big job ahead of them, 14 points. CJ dishes it off to Phil Jones again for three. Hits the rim. Crawford pushes the ball up. Sean Reddish takes another dive to the floor. Crawford, tough turnaround jumper. Oh, he hits it. There's a two-pointer.
Well, they're still fighting, aren't they, Te Arahi, the Wildcats?
They ain't going to stop. Reddish, Bruton exchanging a few pleasantries. Sean Reddish picks up the foul. It's number 5.
This stage of the ball game, you want to get your the rock into the shooter's hands because there'll definitely be a foul coming. So look for someone like Phil Jones or CJ Bruton to make themselves available.
Dylan. He's caught in a bit of trouble. Phil Jones is there to help him out. Oscar Forman's all alone. Credit Bruton with the assist, and Oscar goes to 19 points for the night. Hinson. Nice dribbling. Gets picked in the end. 107 to 94. Minute left on the clock. You could pretty much stitch this up for the Breakers. They stay on top with the Dragons. Crawford. I don't know if that's a bit of sour grace, a big push in the back.
Well, Phil Jones passing up the jumper. It just shows you the teamwork, really. From this Breakers side, here's Phil Jones. Nice little move. He's about to wide open. And there's the shove in the back from Crawford.
Archer. Again, impressive work ethic, 6 points now. That doesn't really matter. That's not the big one. It's the 8 rebounds, it's the 2 steals, the 2 assists, and everything else he does for the players and the team. That's what really counts when it comes to number 24 for the Breakers. Another turnover by the Wildcats. Jones leading the break. What they want to do is just milk the clock. A little over 30 seconds left. Everybody get to their feet here. It's been a good win by the Breakers backing up. It's a good win against the South Dragons last week. Jones fakes. Lets it go. Deep 2. That's no good, but Chris Tupu, you were here last week with the South Dragons win. Another impressive victory by the Breakers. We're now CJ Bruton. E aki ana I ona kai tautoko. Kia tūake. I te mea, I tū, I oho. I matara te kapa Breakers tā rātou tukinga ki te kapa Perth Wildcats. Ko tahirau mā waru ki te iwa te kau mā whā. Koe nei te wikitoria tuarima I ngā kēmu I rima. Mō te tīma o Aotearoa. Kia eke anō rātou ki te tino taumata o te tepu o te whakataetae NBL. Poi tūkohu. 5 straight wins for the Breakers now. Let's see them stay on top. Joint leaders of the NBL competition 2008-09 with the South Dragons. And just by the expression that everybody's faces here, they're pretty happy about it. E hika mā, no reira, e kunei a Chris Tupu e kōrero ana ki te kaiako o te kapa Perth Wildcats, a Connor Henry.
Well, Connor Henry, after a good start in that first quarter, you must have been thinking good things.
Yeah, for the most part, we played well. Coming out in the second half, though, you know, we didn't move the ball. 1 pass possessions, we quit screening. We didn't get rim pressure, so hats off to them. You know, I just would expect CJ not to show us up like that. That's my only complaint about this game. They're a great team. They deserve to be on top. Thank you.
Thanks, Connor Henry there with his thoughts. Back to you, Tiarahi.
Koena Connor Henry. Ana whakamihiake I te tīma Breakers. Engari te re tonu tana hoki ngā tuki ngā hete. So Connor Henry quick to congratulate the Breakers and giving them the credit that they do deserve tonight. 108-194, but you can sense pretty quick interview. He didn't want to really have too much more to say to Chris Tupu. Another disappointing outing by the Perth Wildcats, who have lost 2 in a row now to the Breakers so far this season here at the North Shore Event Centre. And they've got a big match coming up against the Melbourne Tigers this weekend, as do the Breakers, who will head back out on the road against the Gold Coast Blaze this Saturday. But if they've been good at home, they've been devastating on the road. 5-1 wins. 5-1, sorry, their record so far, the Breakers on the road, which is the best record of any team in the competition. And Chris Tupu now is standing by, I guess, with a more happier coach, it's safer to say, and that's the head coach of the Breakers, Andre Lamanis.
Andre Lamanis, congratulations. That was a good finish for you guys. 5 in a row now. What was most pleasing for you about the result?
I think I mentioned it at halftime. We got into the defense in that, like, basically from the second quarter on, like they had 35 at quarter time, so they've ended up with 59 for the rest of the game, which is what we needed to do. We got into it, we made them take tough contested jump shots, knuckle down that end, and I thought we did a good job on the D boards. You know, they're a very physical offensive rebounding team. We put our bodies on the line and did a good job there.
The defense definitely showed through. There was a number of times where they ran over that 24-second shot clock violation.
Yeah, that's you know, it's one of those things. I think we've certainly got much better in that department. It keeps growing, but we need the mental application. I thought we were a little flat during the week of practice. I thought we transferred that into the first quarter. Having said that, you know, we get some stats during the week, and Perth is the best first quarter team in the league. So we should have been ready for it, but we just weren't.
No rest for you guys. Doubleheader coming up on Saturday against the Blaze.
Yeah, you know, that's another big match for us. We've been pretty good on the road so far. Obviously, we take a lot of confidence in. They've got their new import in. They've been out for 2 weeks, so they'll have their stuff pretty well organised with him now. So it's, but we're in a good place to be going on the road and playing those sorts of games.
just tactically, do you think other teams are going to try and push up like they, have done with the Dragons and at times tonight, the Wildcats?
Oh, I think anyone who's done that to us, we've been pretty successul against. I said that going into last week's game that that was going to be a great test of it. The Dragons are best in the league at doing that sort of stuff. And even tonight, when they got up, we got some layups out of it, and we hit layups and threes is what we tend to get, and we'll shoot it early. And so if teams want to do that to us, I think we're pretty comfortable playing that way.
Another game at home next Thursday. How about the crowd support, Andre?
Crowd was just awesome, wasn't it? I hope that comes across on TV. Obviously, just how loud they are, and. When Philly hit that shot, I thought the roof was going to come down.
Well, awesome. Enjoy the victory and good luck on Saturday.
Thanks, too very much.
Ara, e tika ana kia tūwake te hunga nei ki te tautoko I te cover breakers. Kua ke panuku, kua e ke tangaroa. Ko tahirau mā waru ki te ihu e te kaumā whae. Te iwi kia mautonu mai kia whakaata Māori. Ka whakarāpa poto mātou I tēnei tukinga. Muri tonu I ngā whakatairanga e whai ake nei.
Let's go. There's more beaches.
A for the style, yeah.
Way more surf.
Absolutely slaughtered the Perth Wildcats in the fourth quarter. 108-94 to strike up their 5th straight win in succession. And here's how the stats read. Great shooting percentage by the Breakers at field goal percentage 51%, and they keep up that phenomenal record from the three-point line, 50%. Great determination by guys like Rick Rickett on the boards, totally out-rebounding the Perth Wildcats. Similar on the turnovers, but just had similar opportunities for both ends, but the Breakers made the most of theirs. So especially on those rebounding statistics, it's been very impressive by the Breakers. Of course, going up against a big front line of Knight, Loughton and Sean Redditch. The bully boys, you could say, of this competition. Well, they got out-muscled by the Breakers, but one guy who out-finessed them, especially from the three-point line, was Phil Jonesy. Standing by was Chris Tupu. Let's have a look at his highlights first.
Well, the Reefton kid, he had to heat up tonight with Kurt Penny being pretty quiet on his standards, just with 6 points. No trouble for the southpaw Phil Jones coming off the bench, playing some big minutes. Game high 22 points for Phil Jones, and from beyond the arc he was money, 5 of 8. But he had it going all night to the basket, catch and shoot. The Reefton kid really showing his wares, and he brought the house down with that three-pointer. It was money time for Phil Jones. He added a couple of rebounds in there, but everywhere he was just hitting big time. He had the radar on, and they had no answer for the Reefton kid.
Kātou ke te tangata nei of Phil Jones, 22 points, 62% from the three-point line, 5 big trays, especially in crucial times in the fourth quarter, to go along with 2 rebounds, a couple of steals and 1 assist. The part-time golfer, handball champion and three-point champion is standing by with Chris Tupu.
Well, Phil Jones, mate, you had it going tonight, eh? The radar was definitely on target.
Yeah, Toops, last week I was pretty disappointed with the way I shot the ball. Worked pretty hard on it all this week, and it shows a little bit of work pays off, and I was pretty happy with the second half.
That big three you hit right in front of their bench, how loud was the crowd, mate? Yeah,
the crowd was awesome tonight. It was really got us going in the second half. Every time we hit a big shot or made a big play on defense, they just erupted, and it's almost like they're becoming a really knowledgeable crowd, and that's what we want to get fans like that to the games.
Definitely a great atmosphere. Now, that little altercation with Ben Knight, did you see much in that?
Just his hand in my face. That's part and parcel of the game. Those sort of things are going to happen, and especially with them, they're a physical side. We like to think we're not going to back down, and I thought we're good at that side of it tonight. We sort of stood our ground, and that stuff's going to happen.
And it's not over yet. You get to play them again.
Yeah, we're going to go over there. They'll have a sellout for sure. I'll be probably getting a bit of a roasting over there, but as I said, part of the game. We'll look forward to it.
Now, handball champ at Nelson College, is there any truth to that?
What was that, sorry?
Are you the handball champ at Nelson College back in the 80s? That's what Bill Delberg was telling me.
Yeah, that's back in the 80s, probably early 90s. Yeah, I did a little bit of that, but more of a tennis player back in the day.
Yeah, tennis champ, that's right, man. How about your handicap? Paul Henardi tells me you're on an 8. Is that right?
Yeah, well, I don't want to gloat or anything. It's actually a 7, but yeah, I can't play to it.
7, you got too much spare time, Phil. Good luck on Saturday against the Blaze, pal.
Cheers, Stu.
Oh, the man's too modest. I'm only playing off a 7. I don't want to gloat about it, but hey, look, he should be gloating because he's had a fantastic performance. 22 points, outstanding from three-point line. Remember that first game that they played against the Perth Wildcats, he got an altercation with Sean Redditch that saw him suspended for 1 game. Well, the Refton kid got the last laugh in this one, striking up the win for the Breakers. But one player in particular who tried hard all night was the point guard for the Perth Wildcats, Darnell Hinson.
Well, he did try hard, all right. He was the leader from the front, Darnell Hinson. Tough shots all night long. He just battled away. 18 points to finish the ball game for Darnell Hinson. But he has been a revelation for coach Connor Henry this season, coming across from West Sydney Razorbacks. And he's been a good floor general that they've picked up. And he really tried to string a few baskets together to get the win.
Darnell Hinson, 18 points, very effective from the floor, shooting 54% and 42% from three-point line. Not a noted three-point shooter, but got the business done tonight. 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. The point guard from West Sydney Razorbacks now with the Perth Wildcats are standing by with Christopher.
Well, Darnell Hinson, there was a lot of feeling, obviously, coming into this game after the way you lost here 3 weeks ago. But what was disappointing for you in the match in the end?
I just felt like we stopped playing hard a little bit. You know, they started making threes and we got down a little bit. But, you know, it was a tough game. We knew they were going to come in and knock down some shots.
And, you know, heading into this match, obviously the three-point shooting, it's no surprise that that's where they're getting a lot of their points. How did you think you defended the three-point line tonight?
I felt like for the most part we did a good job, but late in the game when it was clutch, no, we didn't do a very good job.
Would it be fair to say that they've got so many weapons that it's almost like, you know, who do you leave not open?
Yeah, they're a very tough team offensively, so it's tough, you know. They got going, and when they get going, nobody can stop them.
And for you guys, I mean, you must be looking forward to playing them again. You know, this is looking like a little bit of a rivalry, but getting them to play them again at your own house.
Yeah, I'm glad they got to come to Perth. It's going to be a different story once they get to Perth.
And for you guys, was there any shining lights for you in this ball game?
I felt like Isaiah Victor came off the bench and played a great game. You know, for the most part, we did our game plan, but late in the fourth quarter, we just went away from it. But, you know, we're getting better, and we'll make the changes.
Thanks for talking to us, Darnell, and good luck in the next game in Darwin, I believe, against the Tigers, eh?
Yes, Darwin. Thank you.
It's Darnell Hinson. Well, Chris Tipper reckons he looks like a mini Mike Tyson, and he does have fighting words. They're looking forward to when the Breakers have to go to Perth to play. And let me tell you, everybody in the league says that Perth is one of the toughest places in the entire league to play. They've got the most dedicated fans, so it will be an interesting battle when Phil Jones and everybody on the Breakers have to make the trip out to WA. Now, they do have a big game coming up against Adelaide, against the Melbourne Tigers. That's the Perth Wildcats, and that's formerly where this man was from, who lit it up from the three-point line, Oscar Foreman.
Well, lit it up from the three-point line. He definitely did. 4 of 6 for the game, but he continues his hot shooting this season. Oscar Foreman averaging over 50% from the tray line, but he had a number of open looks, and really he stepped up and again filled a little bit of a void left by just 6 points from Kirk Penny. So Jones and Foreman definitely benefited, and they took their chances and they made big shot after big shot all game long.
Rangata tauranga mō Oscar Foreman, te kauarawiti, te kauma iwa ana piro. 19 points for Oscar Foreman, 70% from the floor. You're kidding me? And he keeps up that ridiculous statistic from the three-point line. 4 of 6, 66%. Chipped in also with 5 rebounds. Good contribution on the boards backing up Rick Rickett. And Oscar Foreman, the man they call Big O, is with Chris Tipu.
The Big O, that's right, Oscar Foreman. Big night for you. Mate, really getting to the glass, aren't you? 8 rebounds again tonight.
Well, it's something assistant coach Dean Vickerman's really getting on me about, and it's something I need to bring to the team, you know, especially when they got Sean Redditch in the 3 spot, and early on he was getting a lot of offensive boards, so he was just attacking relentlessly all night. So I was just trying to get a body him and keeping him off as much as I could.
When the Dragons did it last week, they put a bit of pressure in the front court. The Wildcats tried again. What's going through your mind when you're waiting down there in that corner for that spot up, Jay?
Mate, I go sit in my job's to sit in the corner and wait for the ball. If I get the ball and no one's around me, I shoot it. It's pretty simple and a pretty good job.
I don't know how long teams are going to get onto that, but do you think you'll see that again from teams?
Hopefully. I can only hope. If they don't, then we just go in and run our offense and execute normally. And as long as we're solid at the defensive end, people can press us, and we're fine at breaking it and fine at getting good run on the glass.
And for you guys, it just showed you the depth of your team tonight. Kirk Penny had a quiet kind of night on his standards, but he doesn't mind. He came up with a W, and you and Jonesy really just chipped in.
Yeah, exactly. Kirk had a sore thumb the day before the game. It carried over today. It's great that he got enough painkillers in to be able to play, and then Phil really turned it up in the second half and hit some shots, and it was good of our team to be able to execute and get him the shots.
Oscar, shooting-wise, have you changed anything this year? Are you putting up more shots or what?
Nah, nothing, mate. Just confidence levels are higher. I think it's my defensive end is a little bit better, and that's kind of taking pressure off my offensive end. In the past, if I'm getting burnt every time, I'm not wanting to take the shot. Now, if I'm playing a little bit better defense and helping on the glass, then I've got no problem taking the shot. It's just a mental thing for me.
And I guess you've got another standout three-point shooter in CJ Bruton as well, as so he's keeping one more player occupied on the three-point line.
Yeah, pretty much everyone around the arc. To start our starting group, we have Rick in the middle, and everyone just camps out on the three-point line, and we kick it around till someone's open. It works, but we really got to make sure our focus is going inside rather than staying too perimeter orientated.
And for you guys on the road again, comfortable on the road. So you're looking for another win against the Blaze?
Yeah, most definitely. We've got a good record on the road, but it's always danger games on the road, and especially now Gold Coast have brought in a new import. James Harvey, may not go, but it's a danger game, and one we need to make sure we squash it early and come out strong in the first quarter.
The big A, Oscar Foreman, great game tonight, mate. Well done, and enjoy that game on Saturday against the Blaze.
Thanks, mate. We do.
Yeah, honest comments there by Oscar Foreman, saying that what his deficiencies were last year has worked on them and has really improved this year. And all the kids from Rotoriti, I'm sure they appreciated it. Tim Berendorf, Thomas Abercrombie, CJ Bruton, tūtaki ana ki ngā tamariki o Rotoriti, Paulie Henare kei kona rātou, wara mai taua taki wā o roto o te waiariki ki te tautoko i te Cup of Breakers. Yeah, they've been entertaining the crowd, and I'm not talking about the breakers, I'm talking about the tauira of Rotoiti, breaking out into haka, and everybody showing the appreciation here tonight. But one player didn't appreciate anything that the breakers were dishing out. He went on his own crusade to keep his team in the hunt, and that was Isaiah Victor.
Well, Isaiah Victor came across from the Sydney Kings after their demise and joined the Wildcats along with teammate Luke Kendall, but he was a spark for the Wildcats early off the bench, getting to the rim, shooting a little jump shot. Again, we see him just aggressive. 25 points for Isaiah Victor, and he had it going, and he was single-handedly tried to keep his team in the ball game. Just 3 rebounds to go along, but he was a real handful, especially off the dribble, and there's that nice sweet jumper.
Ngā te tauranga mo Isaiah Victor, 25 points, 16 of those came within the first half. And again, a very good field goal percentage, 44% from the floor, 8 of 18. Also got to the line, 8 of 9, 88% from the free throw line, and 3 rebounds. Isaiah Victor, a dangerous customer for any team. He stood up tonight for the Wildcats, and he's standing by with Chris Tipu.
Well, Isaiah Victor, you've had